Hello and welcome to the next Metagame Monday, where I take a look at... Oh, wait a minute, what are we doing today? Well, today I decided to just do it a bit differently. I've talked about a lot of different metagame teams, but what if you would like to create your own teams? What are some tips to watch out for to prevent your team from being unreliable? Well, I think I can just boil it down to 3 things, so... Let's look at, for example, these competitively good teams. What do they have in common? Well, usually they have either dual screen support, as you can see here in these 2 teams. They either have Trick Room, usually coupled with Redirection, or they have Tailwind. I think these are like the most common things. All of the teams should have at least one of these 3 things to be functional, to be either bulky or just have that speed advantage and snowball capability, regardless of the opponent's composition. Well, these are like the 3 things, out of the 3 things I want to talk about. What else do you see on these teams? Well, usually you have one of restricteds that's kind of a generalist, and one of the restricteds, or not in case of the Sun, because they have like 3rd restricted in Charizard, but they have a like dedicated Dynamax slot, maybe 2. And usually that's the 2nd restricted. So usually you want to have either Zacian, Shadowrex, or the Lunala as the 2nd restricted, just so you have like, you do not have excessive amount of Dynamaxers. Usually Kyber and Groudon can also be non-Dynamaxers, but you will have some matchups where you want to Dynamax them, and then the 2nd restricted just can Dynamax, and it's just kind of awkward for something, example, like Solgaleo or Palkia to do something without Dynamax. They can do something, but in, for example, the case of Solgaleo or Yveltal, it's just really underwhelming. And what else? We just talked about Generalist. So what's a Generalist? Well, it's a Pokemon that's just kind of better than other Pokemon and dishes out incredible amount of damage. So, what are examples of non-restricted generalists? I think best examples are Eleki, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and Incineroar is kind of a semi-generalist. It's more so ever a supporter, but it's just annoying presence, just kind of makes it kind of like generalist, especially if it has Flitter Blitz for like Zacian and Amoonguss and Rillaboom. It makes it fine. It hits hard in Sun as well. So, why is like Rillaboom better, for example? Well, you just compare it to something like a Kartana. This guy has priority Grassy Glide, about the same power of the Leaf Blade. It has weakness to Max Airstream, but it just doesn't faint to Singulation Sacred Sword. Neither is quadruple weak to Flare Blitz. It also got Fake Out, and great coverage in Howard's power, and if you have trouble against the Shedinja, you can have Knockoff. The Fake Out Grassy Glide combination just makes it better than Kartana, especially coupled with the bulk. Kartana has to run speed, but this guy just does not, making it a better Pokemon. Other example, of course, is Eleki versus Tapu Koko. Eleki, like the idea of Eleki is that it just can outspeed stuff. Even if they set up Tailwind after a single Electro Web, it outspeeds base 130 speed tier. Because they have like only 133 speed. Times 2, that's 268, 66 or 68. And Eleki has 277. Can Electro Web 2nd time and everybody is happy. Eleki just wins the matchup. It's just faster than other things and makes it better, you know. But watch out, Eleki can run the Life Orb set, which makes it kind of the Dynamaxer most of the time. And if it doesn't have Focus Sash, it just can't really do this Electro Web business against the Kyber teams, and it just gets awkward. And Urshifu, what does, for example, Terrakin do? Well, at least it goes Charizard, but Urshifu can go through Protect, it got priority and great guaranteed crit coverage that just goes through Intimidates. Like, it's just better than Terrakin. And yeah, it's like, you just usually want one of these, and the Restricted Generalist. Actually, Kelly Ice is pretty good Restricted Generalist as well, because Glacial Lance is just so good. The Ice type coverage, like offensive coverage, is just so good. So this team gets a pass. So what is example of like an awkward team? Well, Let's build, for example, a Soul Glow team. I want Resurrection, so I feel safe, and I boost my Max Mindstorm, so I get Indeedee. Oh, I do not have really speed control or screens or Trick Room, so let's get the Tornadus in. Oh yeah, Incineroar is going to be useful in covering for Kyogre's Grass-type weakness. And for heck of it, I don't like Kyogre matchup, so I'm gonna get like Life Orb Regieleki. And you just see this team has like one Generalist and Kyogre, and it just creates kind of late games when you have like Incineroar and Tornadus, or like, yeah, sometimes even like Indeedee Kyogre lead, and then you have like Tornadus and Incineroar in the back, which is super awkward, and just, you won't get stuff going. That Kyogre has to win you the game, or else you just lose the game. Soul Glow, if you Dynamax Soul Glow, Regieleki with Life Orb is super awkward in some matchups. So it's like, this is like example of a bad team. Although I don't think Soul Glow could fix this. It's kind of, Soul Glow is kind of an archetype that's just kind of like death or glory, you know? It just either wins with Soul Glow or just loses, you know? Especially when Kyogre is just so easily picked up in late game with Grassy Glides from Rillaboom, you know? So yeah, let's recap. You won't have like, for the Dynamax restricted mana, you won't have a Generalist restricted, that being Ice Rex, Lunala, Shadowrex, or Zacian. You won't have at least one Generalist in like form of Eleki, Rillaboom, and maybe just get like half a Generalist like Incineroar, just so you can dish out some offense against some other types. And then you have, probably you can have like 1 to 2 Dynamaxers. And you definitely should have Screen, Stalemate, or Trick Room support on your team, or else the team just won't function. So yeah, I think these are like the building blocks of any good restricted team, and, well, I'll catch you next Metagame Monday. Have a nice day!